Welcome back, everyone, to the Activate Miracles podcast. Looking forward to spending some time together with a dear friend, one of our counselors at the Miracle Activation Center, and someone who I have come to respect as I've gotten to know her over the years. So, Mary Lu Buie, welcome to the Activate Miracles podcast. So glad to have you with us today.
Thank you so much, Larendee. It's so good to be here with you today. I'm very excited to be talking about what we do here at the Miracle Activation Center and how we bring love and bring whatever's needed at the moment to whoever's interested in what we have. And very grateful to be here today with you.
Thank you so much, Mary Lu. So rather than me introducing you, I would love for you to introduce yourself. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe a little bit about your journey and how you ended up even just here on this podcast with me this morning. So please just share from your heart.
Absolutely. So I'm a graduate from Pathways of Light Spiritual College. It's the Course in Miracles University. I met Larendee right before graduation. She was facilitating one of our wonderful courses that we learn how to facilitate, which is called Accessing Inner Wisdom Counseling, where if you're stuck in a certain area in your life, we can help you with this beautiful meditation that will release some thoughts where you might get stuck. So that's where I met Larendee. That's how we got connected. A little bit about me is that I grew up in an alcoholic home. My dad was an alcoholic. And so that kind of set me on a path to want to undo what I experienced as a child. And so I've been like a self-help person most of my life, and it did, start in the church, and then it went into recovery, 12-step program, Adult Children of Alcoholics, where I discovered a lot of like 2 + 2 = 4. If you grow up in an alcoholic home, your life might kind of sort of turn out the way mine did, with a lot of loss, like most people experience. And I found a way to, kind of reshuffle the deck, and kind of get pieces of myself back that I had lost, and live a happier life, a more fulfilling life. And so that was a really important time in my life. I spent 4 years in deep recovery. I kind of call it outpatient. So therapy, group therapy meetings, things like that. And then I knew about the Course in Miracles, but I really didn't understand the Course in Miracles that well. But after that period of time, I really delved into it when I got into Pathways. It helped me understand that it's really about choosing love. So that's where, I learned a lot in recovery about, the critical voice and how, that's kind of driving the bus, and just never feeling really good enough about myself, worthy enough, deserving of a good life, deserving of even self-love, let alone, God love. I mean, I knew about it, but this helped me really receive it into my heart, and live it in a more powerful way on a daily basis. I'm not saying that I've arrived, and you can ask my boyfriend, there's still stuff. There's always, stuff, but it's much more doable, and I just have much more love. I also graduated just recently from Alan Cohen's life coaching program. That's a 6-month life coaching program. And that's a goal that I wanted to do for a long, long time. So I am certified life coach with Alan Cohen, and that's basically Course in Miracles also. So I'm Course in Miracles all the way. And I am available if anybody would like coaching, would like any type of, spiritual counseling, things anything that I've talked about resonates with you, I'd be more than happy to assist. Also, there's just a lot of addiction in my family, and my son has struggled with a lot of drug addiction. So I've experienced that. And yeah, relationship, addiction, just all kinds of stuff. And I think that kind of pretty much sums it up, Larendee.
Oh, thank you so much, Mary Lou. We have enough that we could probably do 4 podcasts together, and so we may invite you back for some more sessions. You talked about choosing love, and on the Activate Miracles podcast, we talk about the principles from A Course in Miracles. And today, the principle that we're going to be focusing on is principle number 3, and that's that miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. And the real miracle is the love that inspires them. In this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. So you talked about being very involved in self-help, learning about God's love, learning about self-love. So how would you connect to that principle that miracles occur naturally as expressions of love? Does that resonate with you at all?
It
And if
does.
so,
It does resonate. It does definitely resonate with me, and I have definitely experienced that. However, I have also experienced that you have to look at what's not love. You have to look at the fear. You have to look at the conflict. You have to look at the woundedness. Um, and as you do that, and when you do that, then you're able more to come naturally from a place of love. And that it is a natural process. That when I started to do this work, it's not just butterflies and rainbows. There's stuff that's going to be addressed, and it has to be, and that is part of, I would want to include that in that miracle principle, that, because sometimes, I think spiritual seekers, or we all kind of want the easier, softer way. But once that you do, willing, takes a little bit of willingness, open-mindedness, and yeah, and then I have seen beautiful, beautiful miracles.
I love how you talked about being open to looking at the fear, or looking at the antithesis potentially of what love might be. So can you, and I know you talked about the Accessing Inner Wisdom counseling, and that's a service that we provide at the Miracle Activation Center that all of our counselors are trained in. And I think that's one of the modalities, or the things that can help us look at that fear. So maybe you can speak a little more about that Accessing Inner Wisdom counseling that we do, and how does that help us look at that fear or whatever's coming up in that regard? How have you found that to be helpful in your own life?
Yeah, it's a beautiful healing modality, which is a guided meditation, and I've used it myself quite a bit for just when I get stuck. I'll get stuck in, well, say for instance, the way weight loss, or the way I feel about my body, or I'll just go ahead. I'm going to be real. My dad criticized my body every chance he got. My nickname as a little kid was Fat. So I had this huge, just one of them, issues around that. And when I would allow the process of the Accessing Inner Wisdom, it's just a beautiful modality where you just relax, and you know what you kind of want to work on, and you kind of go through this meditation where you get very relaxed, and the blocks that are unconscious will come up, and then they were very, very beautifully, like gently, during the process, be released. The answer will come, the truth will come. So, and the energy of truth and love is like a million times more powerful than the energy of fear. So in the process, it's a release, it's a letting go, it's where I don't have to live thinking that, there's something always wrong with my body or wrong with me. So that is how it works. And it goes deep. It does go deep. And there's also two other things we do. We also have an 8-week Healing the Inner Child program, which also, in a very tender, gentle way, heals the wounded child, and helps you to grow up into who you really are. Because some of us, when we have trauma at certain ages, we might energetically be stuck there. And even though we're an adult, when we get into a certain trigger or situation, we might react like the wounded child. So that's a beautiful healing modality that we have also. And we also have an 8-week spiritual awakening program for anybody that's interested in going deeper into their spirituality and understanding a little bit more of what the Course in Miracles talks about love.
Wonderful. So Mary Lu, you and I share some commonalities in our own spiritual journeys. And one of those commonalities is I was raised in an evangelical minister's home. And it's one of our kind of connection points is that you also connected at some point in your life, early in your life, with evangelical teachings. And we often share, one of the things that we love together is music, and the music, such a rich heritage of songs that we can connect to and messages of hope and healing and God's love. So maybe you can share a little bit about your experience in that and how that foundation has been instrumental in helping you as you've continued to explore your different spirituality aspects.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Larendee, for asking that question, because I can just remember being a young woman, and just feeling like there's no love. There's just, where's the love? I was looking for love everywhere, marriage, relationship, children, jobs, houses, churches, anywhere and everywhere outside of me. And I did find a lot of love in those places. But the real true love is when you find it within yourself. It's when you find it within you and you know it's there, and you don't really need any outside. It's great. It's great to have beautiful music and wonderful people in your life and living in a nice home and all of that. It's wonderful. But when you find the love of God within yourself, or the God of your own understanding, that's it. That's where, the rubber meets the road, and you can find your own comfort, and you can find your own grace, and you can find your own mercy, and you can find your own answers. All your answers are within. So yeah, it's worth the journey. So worth the journey.
Thank you so much. So we're coming up. This time has flown by. One of the things that we ask each of our guests to share with us is, we invited you here because we felt like you had something important to share. And I just want to ask you if there's anything else that you're feeling compelled that you would like to share, especially about how you activate miracles in your own life.
That God is love. That God is love. That God's not hate. He doesn't hate us. He's not going to punish us. Actually, I believe God is waiting for us to welcome that love, welcome it in. And that's what I really believe. And I really believe that I'm here to help people learn how to love themselves and receive the love of God. God is love.
Oh, thank you so much, Mary Lu. Mary Lu, if people want to get in touch with you to learn more about all of the things that you've spoken about today, what would be the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Okay, I have a email. It's marylubue@gmail.com, or you can go on to my website. It's under construction right now, but marylubuie.com. and that's MaryLuBuie.com.
Wonderful, Mary Lu. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our listeners who listened in to us today. And we hope that you have found some additional tools so that you can activate miracles in your life every day, which is your birthright. We'll see you next time.